Crossing the finish line's great, but the journey to get there is probably more important than that. When I first started Ironman, that was the dream, was to get to Kona.
Found on the North Island of New Zealand on the banks of the Waikato River is the city of Hamilton. Hamilton is the third fastest growing urban area in New Zealand. That's good news for 51-year-old business owner and 11-time Ironman David Bullen. With 4 family-owned pharmacies in the surrounding rural area, David is always on the move and has made Kona a lifelong goal. 20 years ago, you wouldn't recognize him.
The catalyst for giving up smoking was playing with Liam in the backyard, kicking a ball around, and realising that breathing was laboured. And he was only 8 years old, and here I was wheezing and struggling. And I just knew that wasn't a recipe for longevity. So I had to do something about that. Coming from no sporting background, that was quite a challenge. But over time, if you persist at something, you slowly get better. And so that's what happened. But I really needed a reason to give up smoking, and Ironman became that reason. When I was first starting to talk about doing an Ironman, I was around 95 kilos, and that was like no muscle at all, because I hadn't done anything physical for years. And now I weigh about between 75 and 77 kilos, and there's a lot more muscle than there was in those days. The biggest reason I do Ironman is to show other people, whether it's family or friends or people that work for me or just anyone in the community, that normal people can do anything. It then becomes an inspiration because they can do it too.
Located on the east coast of far north Queensland is the coastal city of Cairns, Australia. It's a popular tourist destination because of its tropical climate and access to the Great Barrier Reef. David Bullen is not the one-and-done type of athlete. With 11 Ironman races under his belt, you can say he's made Ironman a way of life. It's also become a family affair. So when Liam signed up for the Cairns Airport Ironman Asia Pacific Championship Cairns, David registered for his 12th Ironman.
So you get a lot of satisfaction from completing an Ironman in front of your children. But then it developed into Liam actually taking up triathlon himself. And once he started doing that, I could actually do it with him. And so that became a motivation as well, and a great sense of pride. So I kind of made this promise to myself inwardly and privately, whenever I did a triathlon distance for the first time, I'd do it with him.
Liam is here to tackle his first Ironman, but he already knows what Ironman he's doing next. Liam signed up for the Cairns during a 40 Years of Dreams Kona promotion, and what happened next was unimaginable. Liam became the lucky recipient of one of the 40 Kona slots awarded to kick off the 40th anniversary year of Ironman. Liam is going to Kona. David has been trying to qualify for over 10 years.
I'd been swimming one morning and I got back to the car and I had some messages from a friend of mine, and she said, "Liam, you're going to Kona." And my heart was just racing. I couldn't believe it. I was shaking. And I thought, oh no, I'm gonna have to call Dad.
We got a message from Liam with a link to the video of Mike Riley calling out the names. And I knew straight away that could only mean one of two things. Either I got a slot or he'd got a slot. After a few names, Mike Riley read out Liam's name.
Liam Bullen, New Zealand.
There wasn't much reaction. There wasn't the jubilation I might have expected. Just silence.
Yeah, I was pretty stunned, to be fair. and it was like here he was going to Kona. And I'd been thinking about going to Kona for, at this stage, as long as I could remember. Then I grabbed my phone and there were all these messages from people saying, I'm too scared to ask, is that your son whose name just got read out? Because they knew exactly what it would mean to me.
David Bullen still has a chance to get to Kona. If he crosses the line and completes his 12th Ironman in Cairns, he will become an Ironman legacy athlete. Every year, 100 slots are awarded to dedicated Ironman athletes that stay committed to the sport. Because of his lifelong passion for Ironman, if David crosses the finish line in Cairns, the Ironman Foundation will honor him with a slot to Kona so he can be there to race with his son. Liam and David will both have to focus on the Ironman Asia Pacific Championship Cairns first. The pros and age group athletes gather on the beach for the start of an epic day. For New Zealanders David and Liam Bullen, this will be a day they will never forget.
Normally, it's just me I have to worry about on race day, but this race morning was more special than all the ones before because Liam was doing his first Ironman, and it was really exciting. The ultimate goal for me in the last 10 years has been to go to Kona. I think crossing the finish line this year for me to get to 12 Ironmans is something that I probably don't even realise how significant it is for me until I actually do it.
Liam starts his 2.4-mile swim first. 12 minutes later, David follows his son into the Coral Sea. Starting at the Williams Esplanade Palm Cove, the 2.4-mile one-loop Roca swim course travels along the coast. After a series of left turns around the buoys, athletes will exit the swim at the Palm Cove campground. After a 1:10:27 swim, Liam sits in second place in the 18 to 24 age group. He knows he has something to prove. He wants to earn that spot in Kona. With his current pace, he may just win his age group. The scenic 112-mile bike course takes athletes along curvy coastal roads with views of the Pacific Ocean and tropical rainforests. After turning around at the seaside port town of Port Douglas for the second time, athletes will have a straight shot to the city center of Cairns for T2. "51-year-old David Bullen is at mile 30 on the bike. With a solid 1:09:09 swim, he's currently in 22nd position in the 50 to 54 age group. But today is not about a top finish. It's more about managing the pace. He needs to save enough energy in his legs to get to the finish line and complete his 12th Ironman in Cairns.
Ironman is like no other triathlon, and you've got to pace the day. If you don't pace the day, you'll come unstuck. And probably the biggest fear most people have is not finishing their Ironman. For me, it's all about maintaining watts on the bike, so maintaining an even power output. I don't really look at the time. It's also understanding your own limitations and riding within them. You've got to ride based on your training. If you haven't done it in training, you won't do it in a race.
Liam is off the bike with a 5:30:59 and went from 4th to 2nd place in his age group. A 26.2-mile run is ahead. This will be his first marathon ever. 51-year-old David Bullen is looking strong off the bike. He's in 34th position in the 50 to 54 age group with a 5:51:31 bike time. The run in Cairns is a twisting 3-lap course that winds through sidewalks and pathways in the North Marina and Parklands area. Athletes also pass through the vibrant hub of the Cairns Esplanade that's lined with shops and spectators. For David and Liam Bullen, this is no time for shopping. They're both making strides on the run. Liam is still in 2nd position in the 18 to 24 age group and chipping away on the leader. In the first 10 miles, he's made up 10 minutes. Not bad for the Ironman rookie. Leg cramping has suddenly become an issue for David. With 6 miles to go, he started a run-walk strategy. David knows too well there are no easy days in an Ironman. If he makes it to the finish line to complete his 12th Ironman, this will be his legacy. There's nothing like becoming an Ironman for the first time. Liam Bullen has made it to the finish chute. He stomps an impressive 10:54:40 and a second-place finish in his 18 to 24 age group. There's a common bond that Ironman athletes share with one another. They've all been there. Get to the next lap becomes get to the next aid station. Then it becomes just get to the next light post, and the finish line consumes every thought. And then it happens. After 140 miles, the Ironman red carpet and finish line arch appears. It's a rare moment that takes control of your senses and truly reminds you that you are alive and you are an Ironman. Congratulations, David Bullen. You are going to Kona.
I dared to dream that I would be there. I can't wait to get to the start line. We're on the 40th anniversary of the IRONMAN World Championship and race that with my son Liam. I think that's going to be one of the best things of my whole life. Incredible.
In future episodes, follow this season's Quest for Kona athletes as they attempt to qualify for the 2018 IRONMAN World Championship. Follow us on our Facebook watch channel Ironman Now for full race week coverage.